Do you ever feel like you have these huge, amazing dreams, but they just never seem to get off the ground? You get super excited, maybe you even make a plan, but then nothing happens. Day after day, you tell yourself, I'll start tomorrow, but tomorrow never comes. Soon that big dream just becomes another source of frustration and disappointment. It's a painful cycle, isn't it? Feeling stuck watching your ambitions slowly fade away because of procrastination. You start to wonder, what's wrong with me? Am I just lazy? I've got some good news for you. You're not lazy, and there's nothing wrong with you. The real enemy here is something much more fundamental, a basic law of physics that affects everything, including our minds. It's called inertia. You probably remember inertia from science class. It's the principle that an object at rest wants to stay at rest, and an object in motion wants to stay in motion. Think about it. When you're sitting on the couch, binge watching your favorite show, your body is at rest, and your mind is right there with it. The very thought of getting up to go to the gym or sitting down to work on that business plan feels like trying to push a giant boulder up a hill. That feeling of overwhelming difficulty, that mental resistance, that's inertia. Our brains are wired to conserve energy. When you think about a massive task, like writing a 5,000-word essay or building a whole new website, your brain immediately calculates the enormous effort required. It panics and pulls the emergency brake. It tells you, whoa, that's way too much work. Let's just check social media for a bit instead. And so, you remain at rest, stuck in that state of procrastination, while your dreams gather dust. The cycle of self-blame begins. You feel guilty for not starting, which drains your motivation even more, making it even harder to start the next day. It's a vicious loop. But what if I told you that the secret to breaking this cycle is in about finding some superhuman willpower or discipline? What if it's much simpler? The secret is to not fight inertia, but to use it to your advantage. All you need is a tiny little nudge to get the boulder rolling. Let's talk about the first method to do this. Radically reduce the difficulty of the first step. We make it so ridiculously easy that it's almost impossible to say no. Your brain won't even register it as a task. Let's say your goal is to write a book, and you've set a target of 5,000 words. Just thinking about that number is exhausting. So, instead of trying to write 5,000 words, what if your goal was to just write 50 words? Just a single paragraph, or even just one sentence. Can you do that? Of course you can. So small, there's no excuse not to. The resistance vanishes. You open your document, you write one sentence, and then maybe another. Suddenly you've written a whole paragraph, and you might just feel like writing a little more. You've broken the initial state of rest. This works for anything. Want to start reading more? Don't tell yourself you have to read a whole chapter. Just commit to reading one single page. That's it. Pick up the book, read one page, and then you can put it down. Want to get fit? Don't think about a grueling 1-hour workout. Just do one push-up. Just one. Can you do one push-up? Yes, the point isn't to get a full workout in that one push-up. The point is to start. You get on the floor, you do one, and you might think, well, I'm already down here, might as well do a few more. By making the first step laughably small, you trick your brain. You bypass its threat detection system. You're not asking for a huge commitment of energy so it doesn't fight back. You're just giving it a gentle nudge, and that nudge is all it takes to set things in motion. Now let's build on this with a second, incredibly powerful method. It's called the 2-minute rule. This was popularized by author James Clear in his book Atomic Habits, and it's a game changer. The rule is simple. Whatever new habit you want to start, it must take less than 2 minutes to do. So read a book becomes read for 2 minutes. Do yoga becomes take out my yoga mat and do one stretch. Study for the exam becomes open my textbook and review my notes for 2 minutes. Clean the kitchen becomes wipe down one counter for 2 minutes. Anyone can do something for 2 minutes. It's short, it's easy, and it's non-threatening. But here's the magic. Once you start, something amazing happens. That old friend of ours, inertia, switches sides. Remember, an object in motion tends to stay in motion. Once you've been reading for 2 minutes, it's actually easier to keep reading than it is to stop. Once you've been tidying for 2 minutes, you'll likely see something else that needs a quick wipe, and you'll just keep going. The 2-minute rule isn't about the 2 minutes. It's about mastering the art of showing up. The most important part of any new habit is the beginning. It's the moment you transition from doing nothing to doing something. If you can make that starting ritual easy, the rest will follow. You're no longer relying on motivation or willpower, which are notoriously unreliable. Instead, you're relying on the simple, predictable law of inertia. You've started, so you keep going. Think about how this applies to all areas of your life. In your career, instead of procrastinating on a big project, just open the file and work on it for 2 minutes. For your health, instead of dreading a run, just put on your running shoes and walk outside for 2 minutes. In your relationships, if you need to have a difficult conversation, maybe the first step is just to write down one sentence about how you feel. The beauty of this approach is that it shifts your focus from the outcome to the process. You stop worrying about finishing the entire book or running a full marathon. You just focus on taking that first, tiny 2-minute step, and you do it again the next day and the day after that. It's about building a system of starting, not a system of finishing. Because here's the truth. The journey to achieving your biggest ambitions isn't about one giant leap. It's about 1,000 tiny steps, taken consistently. The person who writes a book does it one sentence at a time. The person who builds a successful business does it one small task at a time. They didn't have more willpower than you. They just mastered the art of starting. So, let's recap the secret. Your big dreams are stalling because of inertia. Mental effort to start feels too big. The solution is not more willpower, but a smarter strategy. First, make the first step so small it's impossible to fail. Write 50 words, not 5,000. Read 1 page, not 1 chapter. Second, use the 2-minute rule. Commit to doing anything for just 2 minutes. Once you take that first tiny action, inertia becomes your ally. It will help carry you forward, making it easier to continue than it was to start. You'll find yourself working, studying, or exercising for much longer than you initially planned, all without a big internal battle. The most important thing to remember is this: you don't have to achieve everything today. You just have to start. Break the inertia. Give that boulder a tiny nudge. Pick one dream, one goal that you've been putting off. What is the ridiculously small, 2-minute version of that task? Go do it right now. Don't even wait for this video to end. Open that textbook. Put on your workout clothes. Write that one email. The rest will automatically follow. You have the ambition. Now you have the secret to turning it into reality. Thanks so much for watching. If this helped you, please give this video a like and subscribe for more tips on building a better life. Go take that first step.